Hey everyone, it's Alexander Robinson. Welcome to the channel, and this is my retro review for Dracula's Daughter, which came out in 1936 and is a sequel to 1931's Dracula. And I should probably mention this before somebody does in the comments. When I reviewed Renfield 2 years ago, I said that movie was a sequel to Dracula. That one is more of a sequel in the sense that Godzilla vs. Megaguirus is a sequel to the 1954 film, where yeah, it follows the events of the first movie, but it's more of an alternative history, and that's what Renfield was. Dracula's Daughter is essentially the Godzilla Raids Again to Dracula's Godzilla. The movie actually takes place immediately after Dracula. Dr. Van Helsing has just slain Dracula by stabbing him in the heart with a stake. However, Dracula's body is soon abducted by Countess Maria Zelensky, who is Dracula's daughter. She has an urge to destroy his body for good by burning it, so she can be free of the curse of vampirism, and she wants to try to live a normal life. Unfortunately, she just cannot escape being a vampire, and thanks to her right-hand man Sandor, she is basically roped into following her father's footsteps as she goes around London looking for victims. This is the first time I'm watching Dracula's Daughter. I'm very well aware of this movie. I watched Cinemassacre's Monster Madness the year they covered this movie. I've seen the poster for Dracula's Daughter featured throughout 1 year of Halloween Horror Nights. And I did say that Abigail is kind of Dracula's daughter, but only in like the idea that the Abigail character is the daughter of Dracula. Otherwise, these two movies are entirely different. And when I say that Dracula's Daughter is a sequel to Dracula in the way Godzilla Raids Again is a sequel to Godzilla, I mean that for better and for worse. There are some things to like about this movie, but it just kind of goes through the motions of the first movie again without it feeling all that special. First of all, the atmosphere is still top-notch. It's not as spooky as the original Dracula, but it still feels like a Dracula movie. It has that classic Universal monster feel to it. The opening of the movie is pretty engaging, where we get a follow-up of the events of the first movie, and we see what happens afterwards, with the introduction of the Countess and her desire to not be like her father. There's a lot that you could have done with that idea. And Gloria Holden does a great job at playing Maria Zelenska. She has that same hypnotic sensibilities that Bela Lugosi had from the original Dracula. And when you watch the first half of the movie, you are invested in the fact that she wants to escape vampirism. She doesn't want anything to do with her father's legacy. But when she's finally convinced by Sandor that there's no other life for her, you can kind of see that she ultimately regrets or has second thoughts about being a vampire. And there's also a lot of arguments to be made that the Countess is bisexual, because one of her earliest victims is of a woman, and throughout a lot of this movie she's trying to get the attention of a psychiatrist who is a man. So there's a lot of interesting ideas in this movie, I'll say, and I think the first half of the movie is more interesting than the second half, because once you get into that second half, it kind of feels like it's doing the same thing. Not scene by scene the same, but it definitely has the same attitude as the original Dracula. It's still entertaining, but I think this movie could have benefited from this being a more character-driven story, where we really get to see the Countess like do all these actions, regret it, and then try to redeem herself at the end. But it just kind of ends in a somewhat similar fashion to where the first movie ends, where the title monster is killed and all the heroes are safe. So again, it's not a bad movie. It has a lot of really good ideas to it, and it's still entertaining. I'd say it's good, but it's not great. This is one of the less essential Universal monster movies so far that I've seen that I would honestly recommend. I don't give it a high recommendation, and I wouldn't expect it to be as good as Dracula, but it has a lot going for it, and much like a lot of the other Universal monster movies, it's really short. I believe none of these movies exceed 2 hours. Like, I think the longest might actually be Son of Frankenstein, which is like 1 hour 40, but even then, that's not long movie. So you really don't have a lot to lose by watching this one. And there you go, that's my review for Dracula's Daughter. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, next up is gonna be the other solo Dracula movie, and one that I'm not really enthusiastic about, Son of Dracula. This movie actually came out in the early 40s, and like I said, we're going to be jumping around through time a lot, going back and forth between the history of the Universal monsters. So tune in next time for my review for Son of Dracula. Thank you guys so much for watching this review, and I want to give a special thank you to my subscribers and YouTube members right over here. You guys are the reason why this channel continues to grow every day, and if you want to help to financially support the channel, you could do so via YouTube memberships for as little as $1.99 a month. But until next time, I want to know what you guys think about Dracula's Daughter. Whatever your opinions are, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell button to get notifications. If you want to find me elsewhere on the internet, you can find me on these social media platforms and my theme park and travel channel right here on YouTube. I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, have a good day and take care of yourselves.